Does anyone know what the band is that's playing out there?
I'm not even sure what the event is. I think it's Chancy.
Yeah. That's Chancey.
Yeah, I was wondering, I mean, there's a warm-up band right now, but.
Yeah, when I saw that he was going to be playing, I knew we would have a lot of time to place the park.
There's room, but it was getting full.
Since we don't have the buttons, obviously we're going to be doing thumbs up, and Barb's not here, so go easy on me. So
Okay.
might go slower.
We'll be patient.
Yeah. 4:14.
I told Barb she couldn't miss tonight.
Yeah. She's up there. Somewhere fine. All right, we're good.
But I think that one is,
All right.
I think that's.
Well, could you do me a favor? That little privacy policy thing, would you put it on that? It popped up because I started.
Someone that must have pulled out.
There we go, thanks. Otherwise it'll be stuck on their screen the entire night.
Oh, maybe not.
So there's a couple of conditions.
I think that's all I can do. Like, I do think this is like,
Meeting will come to order. We're a minute early, but that's okay. Welcome everybody to the Planning and Zoning Commission. There are agendas located over here on the edge of the table if anybody needs one. This is a public meeting for which public notice has been provided. Proceedings are being broadcast and recorded and can be viewed online on the City of Casper's YouTube channel. First, I'd like to read some informational statements about the meeting. Use of cellular telephones is not permitted, and such telephones shall be turned off or otherwise silenced during the Planning and Zoning meeting. When speaking to the Planning and Zoning Commission, please clearly state your name and address. Keep your remarks pertinent to the issue being considered by the Planning and Zoning Commission. Do not repeat the same statements that were made by the previous speaker. Speak to the Planning and Zoning Commission as you would like to be spoken to. Do not address applicants or other audience members directly. Make your comments at the podium and directed to the chairperson and Planning and Zoning Commission. I'd like to remind everyone present that the City of Casper Planning and Zoning Commission is a volunteer body composed of members of the Casper community and appointed by the Casper City Council. The commission acts as a quasi-judicial panel, making final decisions on some items and recommendations to the City Council on others as dictated by law. Commission may only consider evidence about any case as it relates to existing law. The commission cannot make or change planning or zoning laws, regulations, policies, or guidelines. We have 6 of us present tonight. I'd like to excuse Commissioner Bates this evening. He wasn't able to make it. The next item on the agenda this evening is consideration of the minutes from the last Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held on May 11th, 2023. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Okay. Chair entertains a motion to approve the minutes of the May 11th, 2023 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
All right, so moved by Commissioner Wingeter, seconded by Commissioner Hall. Any discussion? All right. Please cast your vote. Do a thumbs up since we don't have our buttons. Please cast the vote.
All members voting aye, motion carried.
Thanks, sir. Next item on the agenda this evening are the scheduled public hearings. Before we get started, just a reminder to all this evening's applicants that it takes 4 affirmative votes to pass any item, regardless of the number of commissioners present. If any applicants would like to postpone their case in anticipation of the possibility of more commissioners being present next month, then I'd ask you to speak up when your case is announced. Case number 1. First public hearing tonight will be for consideration of case SP-415-2023 concerning a site plan review for the construction of a 14,395 square foot church located at 3041 Paradise Drive. The applicant is Paradise Valley Christian School. The applicant has requested the public hearing for SP 415-2023 to be postponed to the July 13th, 2023 Planning and Zoning meeting. The chair would entertain a motion to postpone SP 415-2023 to the July 13th Planning and Zoning meeting.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to postpone. Commissioner Wingeter, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner SQ seconds the motion. Is there any discussion? All righty. There being no further discussion, we'll now vote on the motion, which is to postpone SP 415-2023 to the July 13th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Please cast your votes.
All members voting aye, motion carries.
Thank you, sir. The case SP 415-2023 has been postponed to the July 13th meeting. Second public hearing tonight will be for consideration of SUB 414-2023, request to vacate and replat lots 12, 13, and 14, block 41, North Casper Addition number 2, and a strip of land adjoining lot 14, block 41, North Casper Addition number 2, to create North Casper Addition number 3. Said property is located at 703 North McKinley Street. The applicant is MP Industries LLC. Are the applicants present, and do you want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Will we please get staff's report at this time?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The request has been received for replat of 3 lots comprising 0.39 acres more or less, located at the northeast corner of North McKinley and F Streets. The replat proposes to reconfigure the existing 3 lots into 2 new lots. Property is zoned C2 general business and is currently occupied by commercial structure at the south end. Proposed lot 1 is 7,702 square feet in area, and proposed lot 2 is 9,324 square feet. There is no minimum lot size in the C2 zoning district. Similarly, there are no minimum building setback requirements either. Therefore, the reconfiguration of the lots will not create a setback violation. Staff has not included any recommended conditions of approval. We have not received any public comments, and I have 5 exhibits. A is the application for a plat. B, public notice sent to property owners within 300 feet. C, legal notice sent to the Star Tribune. D, order the public notice sign on the property. And E, memo to the chairperson and members of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the report, and the exhibits are noted. Anyone on the commission have any preliminary questions? Preliminary questions? Okay, next I would ask that the applicant and or their authorized representative come forward to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and explain your application to the commission if you
would. Joseph Park. You hear me all right?
Yep.
5800 South Cedar, Casper, Wyoming. So the intent is obviously the current plot has a portion of the plot line going through that existing building. Which obviously doesn't work. So we're separating into two just plain lots. The intent is to build a second commercial structure on the northern boundary of that that first lot. And that's really the whole intent of the application.
Okay. Thank you. Any of the commissioners have any questions for Justin?
Mr. Chairman, in other words, you're gonna keep the old mini mart right where it is naturally.
Yeah,
You just want to develop eventually the northern lot.
yeah, we want it developed. Yeah, because it don't make much sense right now the way it is, and it's dirty. But we cleaned it up quite a bit. We just recently remodeled the outside of the property and removed those two temporary outbuildings that had a fence, and just redid the whole exterior and lot. So the next step is to build another building on there that, you know, meets all of the building requirements. So nothing special.
Anyone else? Any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Justin. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Now is the time when we ask for members of the audience to come forward in either support or in opposition to this case. Please remember to state your name and address clearly in the microphone for the record. Is there anybody wishing to speak in support of this case? Anybody who wishes to speak in opposition? All right. Seeing nobody wishing to speak in either support or opposition to this case, the chair hereby closes the public comment portion of the public hearing. Calls for a motion to approve, deny, table, or postpone to a certain date. I have a motion.
I move that we approve SUB 414-2023.
Second?
I have a motion to approve from Commissioner Polchek and a second from Commissioner Hall. Having a motion and second, is there any discussion? All right. Having no further discussion, we'll now vote on the motion, which is sub 414-2023, request to vacate and replat lots 12, 13, and 14, block 41, North Casper Edition number 2. To approve. Please cast your votes. Please record the vote.
All members voting aye, motion carries.
Right. Fantastic. Your application for vacation replat has been approved. Would staff please advise the applicant on next steps?
After this meeting, we're gonna do a little paperwork. We have an agreement we need to get done, and once that's executed, we will get it scheduled for a council meeting. It's one reading at council, and then it'll be done and we can record it.
Okay. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yep.
Case number 3. Third public hearing tonight will be for consideration of cases SUB 417-2023, ZOC 418-2023, and ANX 419-2023. Concerning request for approval of annexation of 0.85 acres, more or less, being a portion of the southeast quarter, southwest quarter, section 7, and northeast quarter, northwest quarter, section 18, T33 North, R78 West, 6th PM, Natrona County, Wyoming, and to incorporate said property into a vacation and replat of lots 48 through 53, Elkhorn Village Edition number 2, to create a new subdivision named Elkhorn Village Edition number 3, located at the northeast corner of East 12th Street and Elkhorn Valley Drive. The request also includes a proposed zone change of the 0.85 acre parcel from county zoning to city zoning, classification R2, 1 unit residential. The applicant is Blackmore Homes, Inc. Are the applicants present and do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Fantastic. Can we please get staff's report at this time?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Application has been received for the creation of the Elkhorn Village Edition Number 3 located at the northeast corner of Elkhorn Valley Drive and East 12th Street. The subdivision includes a replat of 6 existing lots in the Elkhorn Village Edition Number 2 and an annexation of 0.85 acres more or less. The existing lots are currently zoned R2 and the area being annexed is requested to be R2 in order to integrate into the existing lots. The purpose of the annexation and replat is to increase the size of the existing lots to eliminate 1 lot and to create 5 newly configured lots for single-family residential development. All uses in the area are single-family residential and all surrounding lots are also zoned R2. Property that is being annexed is contiguous with the city limits along its western boundary. Staff has included 2 recommended conditions of approval with the replat. As shown on the Elkhorn Village Edition Number 3 plat, there is a gap of missing 12th Street right-of-way located adjacent to proposed Lot 5. The first condition requires that the applicant dedicate the missing piece of right-of-way to the city within 12 months. And the second condition allows for the deferment of the construction of East 12th Street. As is customary, corner lots are responsible for the construction of road on both sides of the lot. Additional depth and street frontage is being added adjacent to Lot 5. However, in that the necessary right-of-way has not yet been dedicated, the city is proposing to allow the construction of the extension of 12th Street to occur at an undetermined time in the future, when necessitated by further development to the east. The applicant has indicated that there is no further development planned to the east of this subdivision for the foreseeable future. The annexation plat and zoning should be voted on individually. Staff has included 2 recommended conditions of approval, as I discussed. There were no public comments, and I have 7 exhibits. A is the application for a plat. B, application for a zone change. C, application for an annexation. D, public notice sent to property owners. E, legal notice sent to the Star Tribune. F, photo of the public notice sign on the property. And G, memo to the chairperson and members of the Planning and Zoning Commission. That concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Alrighty, thank you for the report. Anybody have any questions? Alrighty,
Thank you.
okay.
So 12th Street is gonna extend then, and then there's gonna be a street behind the lots? Is that what you're saying?
The, at the bottom of this picture, where the kind of the rectangle is at the bottom, 12th Street is proposed to extend to the east in that direction. It's been part of the long-range transportation plan to allow for the development east of East Casper in the future at some point. So although there's no plans at this time to develop that street or develop farther east, we want to make sure that we have the right of way available.
I see. So there won't be a street that comes down and then up
No.
the side of the wall. Okay, all right.
Alright, any other questions? Okay. Next, I would ask that the applicant and or their authorized representative come forward to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and explain your application to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, my name is Brad Holwagner. My address is 200 Pronghorn, Casper, Wyoming, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Do you have any questions? Do you understand and agree with the recommended conditions in the staff report?
Yes, they agreed to all those.
Okay. All righty, sounds good. Nobody has any further questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Short and sweet. Appreciate it. Now's the time when we ask for members of the audience to come forward. In either support or in opposition to this case, please remember to state your name and address clearly in a microphone for the record. Does anybody wish to speak in support of this case? If so, please come forward. Anybody wishing to speak in opposition? All righty. Saying nobody wishing to speak in either support or opposition to this case, chair hereby closes the public comment portion of the public hearing. Plat request, zoning request, and request for annexation will be voted on separately. So first up for vote will be the plat request to, so I call for a motion to approve with the conditions.
Chairman, sorry about your script there. We probably should have put the annexation first.
Put the annexation first?
Correct.
Okay.
If the property has to come into the city before we can then
Before we
do
can,
that,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that makes sense.
So we will skip down to here and then go back. So first vote will be for the annexation. Chair calls for motion to approve, deny, table, or postpone to a date certain.
I'll move to approve ANX 4192023. I'll second that.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Hutchison. We have a second by Commissioner Winger. Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Anybody want to talk about that field out there? All righty. Being no further discussion, we'll now vote on the motion, which is to approve the annexation of case ANX 4192023. Please cast your votes.
All members voting aye, motion carried.
Thank you. Now we'll go back. Plat or zone? Next, plat, okay. So we will now vote on the plat request. Chair calls for a motion to approve with conditions: approve, deny, table, or postpone date certain for case SUB 417-2023.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a vote.
Commissioner Winger,
I've raised my thumb already, but anyway, I'll make a motion that we approve ZOC 14.
no, we're doing
Oh,
SUB
yeah.
417.
Huh?
SUV.
Yeah, the SCB, okay, 417-2023. SUB,
Approve with conditions. So
with the conditions, yes.
I'll second that.
So moved by Commissioner Winger, seconded by Commissioner Polachek. Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Alrighty. No, being no discussion, we will now vote on the motion for, which is to approve with conditions, case number SUB 4172023. All those, please cast your vote.
All members voting aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Now will be a vote for the zone change.
Zone change.
Chair calls for a motion to approve, deny, table, or postpone to a certain date for case ZOC 4182023.
I'll make the motion that we approve ZOC 4182023.
We have a motion to approve, so moved by Commissioner Hall. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Hutchison seconds. Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Being no further discussion, we'll now vote on the motion, which is to approve case ZOC 4182023. Please cast your vote.
With all members voting aye, motion carries.
All right. Thank you. Your flat zone change and annexation request has been approved. Would staff please advise the applicant of the next steps?
Some paperwork to complete, and we'll be in touch, and it'll go on to council for 3 readings. We have to do an annexation study, and that takes some time, so probably about 3 months out.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you very much.
Case number 4, the fourth and final public hearing tonight will be for consideration of cases SUB 420-2023. Oops, I wrote on the table. ZOC 4212023 and ANX 4222023. Considering a request for approval of annexation of 4.78 acres, more or less, a plat, and establishing the zoning as C4 highway business to create a new subdivision named JTL Group Inc. Addition, located at 1461 Bryan Stock Trail. The applicant is JTL Group Inc., DBA Knife River. Are the applicants present, and do they want to move forward?
Yes.
Thank you. Please get a staff's report at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Application has been received for an annexation plat and zone change to create the JTL Group Inc. Edition located at 1461 Bryan Stock Trail. Property in question is 4.78 acres, more or less, and is occupied by the Knife River Company. The requested zoning for the property is C4 highway business. Property is contiguous on its west side to the existing city of Casper limits along the Bryanstock Trail. Existing land uses in the area are a mix of industrial and parks and open space. The proposed subdivision consists of a single lot, and the applicant's stated reason for wanting to annex the property into the city is to obtain public utilities for the property. According to the applicant, the property suffers from environmental conditions that preclude the use of water wells and septic systems on the property. The property is developed, located in proximity to properties currently receiving city services, and the provision of water and sewer will benefit the property owner as well as the city by alleviating environmental contamination concerns. Staff has included a single recommended condition of approval that reiterates the city's code requirement to provide sidewalk along all city properties. In that there are no connecting sidewalks in the area, the condition defers the requirement to construct a sidewalk until an unknown date in the future. As with the previous case, we're going to ask that you vote separately on the annexation plat and zoning. There were no public comments received. And as discussed, we had one condition of approval associated with the replat. I have seven exhibits in here. A is the application for a plat. B, application for a zone change. C, application for annexation. D, public notice sent to property owners. E, legal notice sent to the Star Tribune. F, photo of the public notice sign on the property. And G, memo to the chairperson and members of the Planning and Zoning Commission. With that, I am happy to answer any questions.
Thanks for the report. Exhibits are noted. Anybody have any questions? No questions. All right. Next, I'd ask that the applicant and or their authorized representative come forward to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and explain your application to the commission.
Good evening, commissioners. My name is Mike Haynes. I'm the Vice President General Manager for Knife River. The reason for this application was a few months ago, we sold 47 point some odd acres of the adjoining property to the city of Casper for their use for the Lake McKenzie and that area for recreation and also for some reclamation for their Tiger grant. So we were happy to work with the city of Casper with that, which left the remaining property by itself. And we requested this annexation so that we could hook up to the city water, as our well's been contaminated for years. We do not have potable water with our wells. And we're also on a septic system as well, which isn't good for the property since we're right next to the lake that people fish and swim in. So it would behoove us to try to hook up to the city services.
Great. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? All righty, you understand and agree with the recommended condition for the sidewalk at a later date?
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, sir.
Thank you for asking.
Now's the time when we ask for members of the audience to come forward and either support or in opposition. Is there anybody wishing to speak in support of this case? Or anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this case? Seeing nobody left in the audience, wishing to speak either in support or opposition, chair hereby closes the public comment portion of the public hearing. The plat request, zoning request, and request for annexation will be voted on separately. First up for vote will be the annexation. Chair calls for a motion to approve, deny, table, or postpone to a certain date.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
you go on, yeah.
I move that we approve ANX 422-2023, the request for annexation of 4.78 acres more or less, a plat and establishing, just that.
All right. We have a motion to approve. So moved by Commissioner Polchek. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Hall seconded it. Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? No further discussion. We'll now vote on the motion. Please cast your vote. Annexation.
All members voting aye, motion carries.
Next, we will, there we go. Next, we'll vote on the plat request for SUB 420, 2023. Chair calls for a motion to approve with conditions, deny, table, or postpone to a date certain.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we approve SUB 420, 2023
With the conditions.
with the conditions, excuse me.
Okay, we have a motion to approve with conditions by Commissioner Wingeter. We have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Polcheck. Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? No discussion? We'll now vote on the motion. Please cast your votes.
With all members voting aye, motion carries.
All right, thank you. And now lastly, will be a vote for the zone change. Chair calls for a motion to approve, deny, table, or postpone to a date certain. ZOC 421, 2023.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve ZOC 421, 2023.
We have a motion to approve, so moved by Commissioner Wingeter. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Commissioner Askew will second. Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? No discussion? Being no discussion, we'll now vote on the motion. Please cast your vote. Please count the vote.
All members voting aye, motion carries. You guys made it easy.
Yeah. All right. So your plat zone change and annexation request has been approved. So would staff please advise the applicant of the next step?
As with the last one, this one needs to go on to council. We'll have some paperwork to do and some studies to do, and we'll let you know when the public hearing is. You'll need to show up for that as well. We're about 3 months out on final approval.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. My dad worked for you guys up until he died.
Oh, wow. We had recently a few people just retired, it's been with us 40-some years.
There. That is good.
Very long time. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good evening. This concludes our public hearings for this evening. Next item on the agenda this evening is special issues. Goodness gracious, nobody's here. Chair calls for any communications from the commission. Anybody have anything to share?
You know, I had a question for the planner. I was on the I-25 the other day, and I should have asked this gentleman that just left. I noticed where those bins are, where Knife River used to have gravel and those pits off of I-25 on the south side.
Guess I'm not familiar.
There's some activity going on. I was just wondering, you know what it is?
I don't. Oh, sorry.
You know what those bins on those cement,
What cross street?
those cement boxes?
I-25 and where? Barrett Walsh?
Oh, I-25 between McKinley and Beverly, right on the north side of south side of I-25.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, they've been there forever. And one time you said you'd like to see them gone too. There's cement.
The old plant, right next
Oh,
to
the
the
old-
interstate.
The old-
Oh,
yeah,
right next to
The old badger plant.
No, we asked them a long time ago to take that out and never
Are
got
they
it.
taking them out?
I haven't heard.
They've been there for 40, 50 years. I should have asked that gentleman at this one.
Anybody else? I think you guys are boring tonight.
I think everyone's just wanting to go dance.
I know,
To-
hear that
rock
music
the
out there. No communications from the council liaison, since Councilor Steve Cappy isn't here, he's probably out there dancing. Communications from Historic Preservation Commission liaison. I guess that's me, isn't it? We did Sherry's anniversary of the building at Sherry's place. That went well. We're still working on the 3D Christmas ornaments. Hopefully we will get a sample one here soon, of the one that we're gonna put together for this year, so.
And do we need, if we want one, do we need to get on the list pretty soon?
Taking orders for it, I think we're waiting to get the sample so that we can show people what it looks like. And
Yep.
so you can get on the list.
Limited run.
Yeah, it'll be limited run, so. If you went to NC, you're gonna want that. I went to KW and I don't want that. No communications from Old Yellowstone District. We postponed your meeting this month, so we didn't have a meeting. I guess we did, there was a service project planted flowers in the planters downtown that several of the OID participated in, so. Any other communications from anybody else present? Nothing? We're a boring lot tonight, aren't we?
Well, I do have one thing.
Oh, of course you do, Terry.
Have you looked at the parking regulations lately, in the city, as far as these strip centers going up? I'm thinking the one over where a particular restaurant's going in off of 15th and Wyoming Boulevard. That seems that what I voted for it, I remember when it came before us, but I did, asked about the parking situation. It looks pretty tight in there as far as parking.
Is the restaurant open yet?
Yeah, the restaurant I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Together with the other strip center.
We're concerned about that one as well. And we went over that with the developer in depth with the council's oversight. And, they didn't exceed the parking requirement by a lot, but they did exceed it. So to your question, yes, that parking requirement is generated by the ITE manual, which is an Institute of Traffic Engineer manual. It's an engineering study that almost everybody in the country bases their parking requirements on. So but that's not to say it couldn't be tweaked if we find that it's onerous or not good enough. The reason I say onerous is we're dealing with Grant Street Grocery right now, which has got the opposite problem. They'd like to expand and do some different things, and they don't have enough parking, and it's not letting them do what they want to do. So it depends who you ask whether our parking requirements are too much or not enough.
Well, with the investment, I hope it works out. I'm sure it will, but I'm just saying, the parking is so close to those other buildings, the strip center too, right behind it.
And they all share. Yeah. I share your concern.
All right, we'll park at your house and walk down.
You're gonna park in my house.
There's a new book you might be interested in.
I'll charge you.
Terry, about parking. Like how much parking? There's too much parking.
The high price of parking.
Yeah, exactly.
Have to read that. All right, well, then the final item on the agenda for this evening is adjournment. Next meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission is scheduled for Thursday, July 13th at 6 p.m. right here in Lyric. There being no further business to conduct, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make that motion.
Commissioner Holm, I have a second.
I'll second.
And Commissioner Eskew, I guess you two are the only ones who want to get out of here. Any discussion? Please cast your vote.
All members voting aye, meeting adjourned.
All right, meeting adjourned at.
Does anybody want to go take a look out the side door to those parking spots, or you get